Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going way back, deep into the bedrock of myth, to look at a foundational story of kingship, of justice, and of shocking violence.
We're talking about the vengeance of Manuchehr.
Exactly. And our mission for you today is to get past the surface level plot. We want to really grasp the core narrative, the specific crime that was so horrific it fueled generations of war.
And understand the absolute political necessity of a grandson's quest for justice. It's more than just a revenge story.
It really is. Think of this as the essential guide to why this myth matters so much.
Right.
So to start, we have to set the stage. The sources all describe this period as the golden age of King Feridun.
A time of, incredible peace, stability, prosperity. Everything is going right.
But that's usually where the trouble starts, isn't it? The greatest stability often hides the seeds of total tragedy.
And what's fascinating here is that the disaster wasn't from some outside enemy. It was an internal decision, a choice made by the king himself.
His administrative plan, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Feridun is at the height of his power, and he decides to divide his entire world between his three sons.
It seems like a good succession plan.
But it's the opposite. Instead of securing his legacy, this one act of division just livery. It completely destabilizes everything.
It's the ultimate cautionary tale, really. How a single decision meant to create peace can instead just hardwire rivalry into the system.
Okay, let's unpack this fatal division, because the geography is so critical to understanding the envy that comes next.
It is. So you have three sons. There's Salm, the eldest,
Right.
Tur, who's the middle son, and then there's Iraj, the youngest.
And pretty clearly the favorite son.
Oh, without a doubt. So Salm, the eldest, he gets the west. Think Rome, the lands of the setting sun.
Okay, and her,
Tur gets the east, the vast realms of Turan and even into China.
which leaves the prize for Iraj,
The prize. The text literally calls it the heart of the world, Iran itself.
which was the richest, the most fertile, the most strategic piece of land. It was the crown jewel. And Feridun doesn't even try to hide it. The problem wasn't just that the land was better, it was the message it sent.
That the two older brothers were lesser.
Exactly. They didn't see it as an inheritance. They saw it as a profound insult. And the text is explicit about this. They burned with envy. Any sense of family loyalty just evaporated.
And that envy turns into action almost immediately.
They start corresponding in secret. And the plot they hatch is terrifyingly simple.
We have to kill Iraj and take Iran for ourselves. It's not a crime of passion. It's a cold, calculated political move.
It is, but this is where we have to look at Feridun's role again, because it's deeply troubling.
Right, because the sources say he found out. He knew about the plot.
He knew his older sons were planning violence.
So wait, if he knew that, why on earth would he send Iraj to them alone and unarmed? It's like sending him to his own execution.
That's a huge question. The sources paint him as just weary, but you have to wonder if it's more than that. Maybe he was trapped by his own hope.
Hope that Iraj's goodness would somehow change their minds.
Perhaps. Or maybe he was just so old he couldn't face a war against his own children. Whatever the reason, he forces Iraj into the role of peacemaker.
And puts him directly in the path of the killers.
And Iraj, completely trusting just, he rides to them with open hands and open heart.
Greeted by what the text calls false smiles. It's such a chilling image of naivety meeting pure malice.
The betrayal is immediate. They welcome him, they offer hospitality, and then that night, while he's asleep,
The murder happens.
yes, and it's Tur, the middle brother, who strikes the fatal blow. But the murder itself, as awful as it is, isn't the detail that makes this story so unforgettable.
No, it's the aftermath. The aftermath is what cements this in your mind with just pure visceral horror.
They needed to send a message back to their father, a message of absolute terror and defiance.
So it wasn't enough just to kill him.
Not at all. They severed Iraj's head, but here's the grotesque twist. They didn't just send it back.
No, they prepared it like a trophy.
They filled it with musk and camphor. They essentially perfumed the severed head of their brother.
And sent it to their father as a kind of royal gift.
It's an act of such calculated desecration. It's meant to humiliate Feridun, to violate the very idea of kingship.
Just imagine being the messenger delivering that package. When Feridun gets it, the sources say his cry of grief shook the heavens.
His mourning becomes a cosmic event. He wept until the rivers rose. It's like the natural order itself has been broken by this betrayal.
And that grief hardens into a vow.
A solemn, non-negotiable oath. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is the pivotal moment. The king swears, "This innocent blood will not sleep." It will call for justice until the end of time.
An oath he's too old to carry out himself.
All right, it has to be passed on. It becomes a mandate for the next generation.
And that's where the Avenger enters the story. Manuchehr.
The grandson, born from a Raja's line.
He wasn't raised like a normal prince, was he?
No, he was raised in secret. He was trained specifically for war, for kingship, and, as the epic says, he was burning with the fire of vengeance.
He wasn't just a person. He was a solution. He was the living embodiment of that oath.
Literally engineered for justice. So when he finally comes of age, the handover it's very clear, very decisive.
Ferid places a crown on his head. But it's not a full coronation, is it? It's more like a commission.
It's a mission statement. And the words are simple. Go, wash your father's blood from the earth.
No ambiguity. This is a holy war to restore the moral and political order.
And Manuchehr is ready. He doesn't just rely on his own strength. He builds a powerful, unified army.
We're talking about the great heroes of the age.
The biggest names, Sam Nariman, the legendary champion, Karen the Brave,
Right.
they all rally to his cause. This isn't just a family feud anymore.
It's become a national campaign of restoration.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's track this campaign of vengeance because it's so methodical. It mirrors the cold, calculated nature of the original crime.
One by one.
First target, Salm. Ella's brother, out in the west. Manuchehr marches his forces straight into his territory.
And the battle is fierce, but the sources all stress that Manuchehr's army is just unstoppable. They're fighting with a sense of righteous fury.
Salm is defeated. He's slain.
And here's that terrible symmetry you see in ancient justice.
Right.
Just as Iran's head was sent to Ferid, Salm's head is struck from his body.
And sent back to the old king.
It's the closing of a circle. The first traitor has been dealt with. It validates the oath, and it cements Manuchehr's authority.
So, with one brother down, he doesn't even pause. He immediately turns his army east.
Toward Turan and toward Tur.
And Tur has gathered a huge army, right?
Yeah.
He's confident in his numbers.
A vast host. But again, the sources say Manuchehr's warriors fought like lions. The moral purpose gave them strength that numbers couldn't match.
And Tur realizes he's losing. He flees.
He flees. And not just across the border. He runs all the way across deserts, over mountains, pushing toward the far reaches of China.
But the pursuit is relentless.
It's absolute. Manuchehr is willing to cross the known world to see this through. There is no escape.
And it ends in one final clash.
Tur is killed. And of course, consistent with the ritual.
His head is also brought back to Iran.
With that, the two conspirators are gone. The blood debt is paid. Iran, as the epic says, is cleansed of the traitor stain.
The circle of violence, at least for now, is closed.
And what happens next is so important. It's this critical transition of power. Ferid sees that justice has been done. His oath is fulfilled. And for the first time since his son's murder, the old king smiles.
It must have been a moment of just profound relief. A transfer of destiny.
It is. He takes the full crown, the crown of a now unified realm, and places it on Manuchehr's head.
His job is done.
His job is done, justice is restored, the lineage is secure, and he passed into eternity.
So Manuchehr's reign becomes the new model for what a king should be. He's not just an avenger.
No, he proves he can rule. He rules long, he rules justly, and he builds what the text calls a strong and united Iran.
The vengeance wasn't just destruction. It was a creative act.
Exactly. As the poet Ferdowsi puts it, Manuchehr cleansed the world of their tyranny and made his own name immortal. The story is proof that justice, even bloody justice, can be the foundation of a strong state.
But this is where the deep dive really pays off, because the source material shows us that it's more complex than that. It's not just about Manuchehr's success. It's about the long-term cost of that success.
Yes. If we connect this to the bigger picture of the whole epic cycle, the sources are very clear. This successful vengeance against Tur, it wasn't the end of the conflict.
It was the beginning of something much, much bigger.
It was the very beginning of the long rivalry between Iran and Turan. This one act of justice becomes the foundational trauma for generations of war.
So the murder of one brother by another created this rift,
which the epic poet explicitly calls a river of blood that would flow for generations. The family division becomes a permanent national geopolitical conflict.
The irony is just. It's staggering.
It's so powerful. Ferid divides the world and it leads to murder. Manuchehr unifies the world through vengeance.
But in doing so, he solidifies the idea of an eternal enemy.
Yes. The price of cleansing Iraj's blood was creating the need for endless war against the Turanians. Manuchehr establishes a united Iran, but he also establishes the central conflict that will define its future.
So we've followed this incredible arc, from the stability of a golden age to the fatal error of a king, the shocking crime of the perfumed head.
And then the relentless, righteous campaign of Manuchehr.
The king who was, as you said, born of grief, forged in vengeance, crowned in justice.
And the moral of the story, it still resonates, that the murder of the innocent will not go unpunished. Justice finds a way.
But it comes with a terrible price.
A terrible price.
And that justice here was bought with centuries of conflict. The text leaves us with a really provocative final thought. It sings, "May every wronged soul find a Manuchehr to carry their cry across the years."
And that really forces you to think. If you're seeking justice today, what is the acceptable cost? Was the price Manuchehr paid creating this enduring, bloody rivalry truly worth it to achieve that initial vengeance and unity? That is the question this ancient text leaves you to wrestle with.